Hey everybody, and welcome to the Sunday Night Live show. I hope everybody had a great weekend. They go by so fast, it's crazy. And I try to get as much done as I can, but with my brain injury, I'm only able to get so much done. It's not the productivity that I would like and that I'm used to, but it's all good. I'm blessed to be alive. So let's go ahead and look at the stock chart, see what's going to be happening this week. We actually have a full week for once, and next week will be a short week with Martin Luther King Day. And the inauguration is on Monday next week. So 1 week away from tomorrow, we'll have a new administration in the office in this country, and that'll be nice. Somebody actually running the country for a change. That'll be really good. So let's see what's going to be happening here. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys enjoyed some playoff football. There's a game on, Washington and Tampa Bay. Washington's up 7-3 in the second quarter there, and we'll get cruising through. You guys, I'll keep you updated. You guys can keep an eye on that, and we'll go through the market and see what's happening. So let's get rocking and rolling here and look at CDT. That bad boy was running for us, and we've looked at it for a while here. Kind of knew it was about to get moving, and it is moving here. So let's see what it's going to do tomorrow, because that's what's important. And it did run up on Friday. It went 8-18, and it closed at 12, and it wasn't looking bad when it actually closed. So it never got to that top line yet, and it looks like it could get up there tomorrow morning. So I would keep an eye on that CDT and see if it has a little momentum right there. And I will put a number 2 next to that. If you look at the new list, I kind of changed the stock ticker list around. I took out some of the ETFs. I made a different list of all the ETFs I have sitting here so I can easily look at them. And I also put down our top picks for our Mag 7, what's on the list, and our laptop travel ones. And we also have Jolie's Jam, so we'll check out the ones that Asian Jolie likes all the time. And then we'll check them out at night. And we'll do our Jolie's Jumpers in the morning. So a little different right there. So here we go. Let's get cruising. And that CDT, like I said, is not looking bad for the morning. We'll obviously look at it. It's a weekend, so we never know what it's going to do, but we will definitely be checking things out at 7 a.m. VMAR, this was definitely a laptop travel one, and it got moving there on Friday. It ran like 175 to 386. It closed at 185, so they do run up and then come back. And this one doesn't look bad either, but it does have that run up look, but it stopped on the 50, so it's an interesting one. Another one, we probably have to look at it in the morning just to get a better idea of what direction it wants to take, and it could just be one of them early morning runners too. So keep an eye on that in the morning VMAR. And that DATS was moving around last week. We know that. It did run back up on Friday. It looks like it's trying to curl back up here. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it tomorrow. And like I said, it looks like it's curling up. Look at it in the morning. It did go 341 to 750 on Friday, and it's at 529. So, and the low is 317 there. I'm not sure if it ran up, came back, or if it started out and came down, but it is up there, DATS, and it looks like it might want to get moving again. So we'll keep an eye on that bad boy as well. It does look like it's going to keep that momentum. And that SENS, this one's looking really good. It ran up Friday, and it's in the top there, just where we like them when they get moving. 68 to 94, it's at 71. I would watch this bad boy in the morning. It looks like it wants to keep that momentum right there. So watch that one too. That's SENS, and that one looks good. Says Sononics, I don't even know what it's called. Something Holdings, and it's SENS. And how about Walgreens? This thing trying to change itself around, and we stopped looking at it after they were gonna try to sell it to a private company. I don't even know whatever even happened with that. We basically stopped looking at it, but it did pop up there. It was up the other day. It's hitting that top, and let me see. It actually looks much better too. I'm not gonna lie. It went $9.24 to $12, and it closed at $11.69, and it doesn't look too bad to try to run up into that top. So keep an eye on this Walgreens. I don't know what the heck they did to change it around, but something must have happened because it looked really bad, and they were in the talks of selling it privately. So I have no idea. I'll have to go back and look at it later, or somebody knows what they even did. I don't follow the news, but I am kind of interested because we were following that one. And SVMH here. Let's see what this one's doing. We knew this one's been running up. It ran up the other day for us on the 7th, which was, what day was that last week? Tuesday that was. And let's see what it's going to do. It almost looks like it wants to try to curl back up. SVMH, let's see. Let me see what you want to do here. It does look like it wants to curl back up. It opened at 6. Its high was 7. It closed at 6. But doesn't look bad to try to curl back up there. So we'll keep an eye on that SVMH, and I think that one we'll see what it wants to do there, because I'll keep an eye on that. And CGBS. This one was running up. We had looked at this way down there. It's been running up, and this one's in that top and looks like it could be a good momentum play for tomorrow. So keep your eye on the CGBS, because that does look like it might keep its momentum, and it is in the top there, and we know that they love to run when they get up there. So that's one to keep your eye on for that morning. Tomorrow morning, SMX, the security company, this one had run up for us and then it pulled back, but it's getting to be in a really good spot again. And it looks like it wants to roll off that MACD and that 50 right there. It's looking pretty solid, guys. So I would keep an eye on SMX. I think this one's setting up to try to get moving there. So keep an eye on that bad boy. I think that's looking really good right there. MVST, a lot of people were liking this one, that MVST, that Microvast Holdings, and it was running around last week, and it did just move around on Friday. Let's see, MVST. It went 261 to 334. It's at 234 right now, and it did it. It crossed back down, but it's setting back up to try to cross back up, and if it does it, it's going to get cruising. We just have to make sure it's going to cross back up. That's the only thing. It's in between this pretty good channel here of 194 and 286, and it ran, what, 250? I just said it. It ran 261 to 334. Its low is 215. That's what I was looking at. Yeah, so it can still come down a little bit and stay inside that channel. And we'll keep an eye on this MVST because it did run up there. It is set up bullish. Like I said, we just want to make sure that it's going to cross through this time and that it's going to actually run now and not pull back a little bit to set back up. HURA, this is one we looked at before. It was on my watch list and just kind of caught my eye. It was starting to move here, HURA. It moved on Friday, 451 to 550, but it got into that channel and above the SMA 50 right there, and it's looking pretty good, I must say. It's at 482 right here, so keep an eye on this thing, HURA, and we'll see if it can bounce back up here. If it can get over that 550 area, wherever that, yeah, 550, if it can get over that, it can get cruising here, and it just crossed through and doesn't look bad, so we're going to keep an eye on that. I'll see what that bad boy wants to do, and that is HURA, so I'll watch that one. RVSN, let's see that one real quick, and I'm just going to put a line there because them. All right, RVSN, and this one we've watched. We knew it ran up there, and it might be trying to curl back up off that MACD and roll back up there. It kind of looks like it is. It's just pointing down. I'll look tomorrow, but it does have that look like Wednesday it was. There was days off, so Wednesday it looks like it got down to that 137, and it could be trying to curl back up there for that RVSN. So we'll take a look at that one in the morning. And this SYRS was setting up really nice. It was up a little bit. It had pulled back. It was setting up, came back under the 50, but I'm telling you, this thing's looking really good right here. I don't know what they have going on. The last time we said that, it ran up really nice. They had insider buying happening, and then the price came way down. So it is setting up back here at that 22.5 cent area, 22 cent, and looking much better. SYRS, and I think Laptop Travel agrees. Actually, as a matter of fact, it was on Laptop Travel's list tonight, and I just didn't put it down because I had already had it down on my list. So there you go for SYRS, and it is looking good there. So keep an eye on that one. I think that is setting up right there. And let's look at this EIX. They're talking about this thing possibly being the cause of one of these fires out in LA. It's an energy company. I did post about it, and yeah, they're just doing some investigation. I don't know if like I did read it, but I don't even remember what it said to be honest with you. I think something like their energy, I can't even think of it. Whatever, something I guess blew up and caused a fire. I forget exactly what it was. I'll have to go back and look. And but I did a transformer or something like that, but it's not exactly a transformer. And but yeah, apparently it could have been one of the causes of one of these fires out in California. So this one went way down. I guess they might have known about it last week. I have no idea. EIX, I've never even heard of them before. Edison International, heard of them today though, and it was way down. It had dipped down on January 8th there. It dipped pretty good on Wednesday and then took another dip on Friday, and it probably would have dipped again Thursday if the market was open. They just got saved by Jimmy Carter. So there, that one probably because it didn't look very good. And yeah, it came down to $65, and we'll have to check this out and see what's happening. But it went right to the basement. It was trying to set up actually decent, not great, but it was not looking too bad. And then it just came down. So we'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, there'll be a pop up on it. And that's what we always watch for, these bottoms, these nice dips, and then that pop back up. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye and see what this investigation on tells us about EIX. And yeah, I don't really know much about it, but I did see that today and thought that was kind of interesting. I said, wow, that's a crazy company. They're in trouble if that's the case. And it's like $1 billion company. So I don't know what's up with that. It's an energy company. So there you go. And this GRNQ is looking really good. It was popped up there, that Green Pro Capital. A lot of people are liking this bad boy, GRNQ, and I can see why. I mean, it's jumped up and it's in the top. It has that look when they've been up there like this. Um, these last few weeks or months even, they've been running pretty well. This one went 140 to 207. It's at 207. So I can imagine that it's going to keep that momentum in the morning and try to run back up there. So just keep an eye on that to keep that momentum right there because I think it will. And like I said, it's staying up at that top there just the way they are. It bounced off that line and kept that momentum, closed up there high. I think it even went up in the after hours possibly. Yeah, 207. So it closed at 189. So I would imagine that's going to continue to run up, and that's Green Pro Capital. So there you go. Keep an eye on that. I know a lot of people are liking that one. And BREA, let's see that one. BREA, that Barrera Holdings. This one is kind of setting up. I think it's just going to have a little bit of pullback here. We'll have to see. It may even pull back to the 61. It's at 79, and it went up in the after hours. Let me see what this after hours looks like. And yeah, it's coming back to the MACD. I'll get a better look at it tomorrow. It is setting up in two spots. So if it comes down, it like I said, it's coming down to like that 60, wherever, 61 area, not even 62, maybe 63. And if it wants to bounce up, it can get up until like the 95. There's two different channels it can run in. There's a couple channels setting up here for this one. So definitely an interesting one to keep an eye on. I will definitely see what this one's doing. Let me mark that one and keep an eye on this one because that one's going to be a good setup. We just can't tell exactly what it wants to do yet in the morning. PTIX, this one's setting up really good too, bouncing down. That was a nice dip on it on Friday. So we will keep an eye on this one because it's going to want to bounce up. Let's just see. It might be that 44 was its low and it got down to, let's see what its low was, 46. So look for anything down there because that looks like it might be the bottom. And this one's going to set up. It might be a week or two away. It's a biotech company, but this one is setting up right there. So let's just mark that as setting up. And AERT, let's see what that is doing here. AERT. Aries Technology. This one had run up not long ago. It was December 30th, right before the new year. It's pulling back to set back up and looks pretty good to roll off that MACD. It's looking really good to roll off of there. We might want to keep an eye on this one tomorrow. AERT looks like it is setting up right there and wants to run. So you might have to give that a 31 or a 13. I don't even know what you want to set that up as, but with my little number scale here. But this one looks really good to want to move. So keep an eye on this AERT. It looks like it's getting to be in the right place. It wants to curl back up, and it's looking pretty decent. That 50's at like 104, and we're at 78 in the after hours. I'll have to look at it in the morning just to make sure it's trying to stay up over that 20, but it should be. And we'll keep an eye on that. And ELAB, this one had run before. It's just down here, dipped down on Friday down to the bottom, not in the basement though, and not looking terrible. It could get set back up to try to run again. So we'll keep an eye on it. It's still crossed up over the MACD line, so it could easily come off of that bottom line, curl back up, and get moving on ELAB. And EJH, this thing had pulled back there. It had run up for us, and then it pulled back, obviously. And let's see, it did cross through coming down. This is one of them small cap China ones. And yeah, on here on mine, it looks like it pulled itself up in the after hours, and it's sitting on that line. So tomorrow morning is going to be an interesting one for that one. I'll have to take a look at that and see what it wants to do right there. And I'll look at that WTO. I didn't write it down. I meant to, but I forgot. And here we go. That one had that little pull back there. EJH and WTO, for whatever reason, they seem to run kind of similar. And they both kind of ran up around the same time, and they're both pulling back around the same time here. So we'll keep an eye on WTO. This one was between the channel and did run up. It was 38 to 45 the other day, and it's at 31. So we'll take a look at it and see if these things want to roll back up and get moving again. And that's EJH and WTO. XTIA, this was a runner there, and then it split. I mean, can you believe they ran it way up there to reverse split it? I mean, it's kind of crazy. Or did it reverse? I think yeah, reverse split. What, on Friday? It said the 10th. So it's in like the $7 range, and obviously we were looking at it in the pennies, and it ran up big time, over 300%. And that's what these penny stocks do exactly. They have reverse splits, and then they have offerings and all this nonsense. Right when they run them up, they basically try to squeeze every penny out of people and just get you caught. That's why these aren't investments, obviously. They're just quick plays that you can really profit from, but you have to be able to trade them smart. And XTIA is a perfect example how it ran up over 300% for us. We knew it was going to, and then they just pulled back, reverse split it, dip it down, and that's a wrap probably. It's probably going to come down some more, unfortunately. So there you go at XTIA, and unfortunately they had to reverse split that. It's just like when they do an offering on them, it just destroys it. They just kind of killed all the stockholders. They don't care, and they squeeze more money out for the company. So there you go at XTIA. But we knew that thing was setting up, and obviously, honestly, it'll set right back up now that it's up here. Just let it pull back at this bottom, and we'll catch it for the next ride up for XTIA. So that is an aerospace and defense one that we knew, and it did run up and then split Friday. ALLR, keep an eye on this. It was running up last week as well, and it looks like it's trying to set up. I'll have to look at it. It's trying to stay in between this channel here of like 105 and 118. So we'll have to keep an eye on this to just see what it wants to do here. And that's ALLR. I have a feeling it is going to try to stay in that channel and get set up and try to move in the next week or two. So we'll have to see if it wants to roll off this MACD. I'll keep an eye on that one, see what it wants to do. OPTT ran not long ago, was pulling back, and it kind of looked like it was trying to bounce back up on Friday. I'm not so sure. 115 to 124. It did come down to 103, and it closed at 111. It might be pulling back a little bit, trying to base out maybe. We'll have to look at that one just to see. I'm not so sure it's ready yet, but I'll look at it tomorrow. And WISA, we were looking at this the other day, and it did run up there, and it did pull back it got into the top there. When was that? Right after the New Year, I think, right? Or right before the New Year, December 30th, and then it was running the 31st. So it was running right before the New Year, and it's just pulling back. It's in that channel hitting the 50 right now, WISA. And yeah, just kind of hitting in that 50 and 20 range, and that's 185 to 195, and it went basically 191 to 195, and its low is 182, so it's right there, and it's closed at 187. Probably going to bounce in there to try to set back up, and this is a semiconductor one right here, so I could imagine it does look like it did curl through, and it's just going to bounce around, set back up to get moving maybe next week or so. So we'll look at them. SNSE, that Sensei Biotherapeutics, this thing started to move up again on Thursday, I think, and it is setting up, guys. This thing is getting set back up there. Yeah, Thursday it ran 56 to 83, and on Friday 52 to 55, and it closed at 51. But it does look like it's trying to roll off that MACD. The 20 and 50 are meeting up, and it doesn't look bad there. So check that one out. It does look like it wants to set up, and that is SNSE. And here is good old BHAT. I see a Terps trader, and he said if he got 100 likes, he was going to buy it tomorrow, and he blasted through 100 likes there. If you follow him, let's take a look at it. It was looking good. It has a lot of crazy looks down here, not gonna lie. And on what was it? Because that day off kills me. That Wednesday, I wanted to say Thursday, but Wednesday it did dip down. Has a crazy look there. Friday when it closed, BHAT. We were looking at it for all these run-ups when it ran up New Year's Eve, when it ran up just the other day on the 8th. We had looked at them for all of these bad boys, so we had known. And so what is it going to do here and for Terps Trader? Because he's going to get some of it, and we'll see. It's hitting that MACD line. It's flattening out. And it honestly, it does look like Thursday, that 7 cent when it came down there. It's at 9 right now. It looks like that 7 could have been its bottom again, and it could easily curl back up and get rolling. We'll look at it in the morning in the pre-market show and see what BHAT is doing, and we'll get a better look. But at the moment, closing Friday, like I said, it did pull back a hair, like 0.34%, nothing in the after hours there. And yeah, it's not looking bad how it closed. So we will take a look at that BHAT. And I know a couple of you smacked that out of the park last week, so that was a nice hit. And how about HWH? HWH International's way down here, and this one's trying to set up and make a base. HWH, let's see. Yeah, it is trying to make a base down here. Friday got down to 40. It was at 39 on Wednesday, not Thursday, Wednesday. If I say Thursday, you know it's Wednesday. It was closed for Jimmy Carter. And but anyway, yeah, it's curl. It looks like it's trying to set up here, HWH. So we'll look at this one. I think it's trying to make a base down here and trying to get moving. I'll take a look at that one and see what it wants to do, if it's ready to start cruising again or trying to crawl back up or get moving. CNSP, let's see what CNS Pharmaceuticals is doing here. And this one is curling back up, looking really good, guys, right there. At least on that it does, and on here it does. And it had run up there, what was that, last Monday, I believe? So last week it ran up 18 to 25. Right now it's at 12. Friday went 11 to 12, and it's looking really good right now. CNSP, this one might be one of the leaders right there for looking good tomorrow. Might have to put a number 1 next to that one and say that CNSP is actually looking really good right there. And Laptop Travel saying the same thing. And yeah, I think CNSP might be a really good contender right there. And like I said, if you looked at the list, I changed it around, so we're going to have to pick some top picks now and write them down. And CNSP may be in that, might be one of them there. COEP, let's see what that's up to. I know that was setting up and running, and this one's looking pretty strong to stay running as a momentum play. And there's different kinds though, but I guess we're going to have to pick the best ones to run for tomorrow. COEP COP looks like it's going to keep that momentum right there and continue to run. So I'd have to assume that COEP is going to run up tomorrow morning as well. It's been running up. We've looked at it, and but it just curled up into the top there and looks like it wants to keep it. So that one looks really good as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And that GRNQ looks like that one's going to be a momentum play too. So there's three of them right there real quick that look really good. I mean, you had that GNRQ, and then we just did the CNSP, COEP, and that AERT was looking really good. So there's four of them right there. Let's continue right here. MCVT. This one if I could type it in, MCVT, that Mill City Ventures did run up. We were looking at it last week and it did run up for us, and it still looks like it wants to run up right there. Let's take a look. And yeah, it doesn't look bad. 273 to 365. It closed at 354. And like I said, it does not look bad right there. I could see that being a momentum play again in the morning, that MCVT. So keep an eye on that for a little momentum right there too. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one. And RIG, isn't that like Transocean or somebody like that? Transocean. I looked at somebody wrote it down. I remember I've traded this one before. Used to be a penny stock back in the day, and now it's at 403, and it does look pretty good. It wants to bounce off that line right there. RIG, this rig wants to get cruising. It looks like 401 to 419. It's at 407. I'd say that's setting up right there. RIG not looking bad to me. So keep an eye on that one. Let's look at the ZBAO. This one was looking pretty decent last week, I remember. Up a penny. We were watching it kind of pull back and just run down there, but it had crossed through. And like I said, I think this thing may be a runner for this week. So keep an eye on this bad boy as well. I think that's setting up to get moving right there. And it could even try to bounce tomorrow. So you might want to keep an eye on that. Like I said, it does look like it could want to bounce. The heck did I just do? Just X'd out of my trend spider there. That was good. Let me get back in there. All right, here we go. All right, that's it. All right, and ZBAO, like I said, that one looks like it's going to be setting up right there and not looking bad, so we're going to keep an eye on that. How about good old Mullen, MULN? Let's see if that one had run a little bit up, and then it kept bouncing down. And I'm telling you, this was probably the most diluted company on the stock exchange. I mean, I can't imagine another one that dilutes more than this. So it's hitting the MACD line. It does look like it could be bottomed out. We'll look at it tomorrow. It is in the basement. This one's been known to run down there, as I just pulled back on the chart, and it ran from literally July 11th all the way until November 11th. So it stayed in the basement for a few months. It's been known to do that, and it'll reverse split 10 times why it's down there too. So be careful with Mullen. It does look like it could be a bottom, but you just don't know. I'll look at it tomorrow real quick, tell you. But yeah, that one's just a crazy one. GCTK, this gluco track was looking real good. And honestly, it's still not even looking bad. I think this thing's going to try to get rolling off. I think it just happened to pull back a little bit there. It ran up on the 8th on Wednesday for 16 to 27. We were looking at it right before that. And then on Friday, it went 15 to 11, but closed at 14. It's above, it's crossed through, and it does look like it wants to try to stay up there and roll off that MACD. I would keep an eye on this. I think it's still trying to get set up there. Keep an eye on it. I'll see what it wants to do, but I feel like it's probably pretty safe, that GCTK, to try to move some more. And like I said, it did run up there on Wednesday, and again, Thursday was closed. It was just a crazy couple days there. Market's real red, SPY's down, so you have some pullback happening, and I think this one could potentially roll off. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see what it wants to do in the morning. But that is GCTK, and the game is 10-10. It looks like it's 10 seconds left in the second half, or second quarter, I mean. And yeah, Washington, Tampa Bay, 10-10. So probably going into halftime. And it looks like someone just scored. I don't even know who. I guess it was Tampa Bay did something. And there you go with that. But yeah, here, let's roll through these guys and you can watch the game. GNS, Genius Group is getting set up, guys. We were looking at it last week. GNS may have to add to that list too because that one looks really good now. That one's setting up. I would say that's trying to get rolling very, very soon. So we have a couple really good ones right here. So that one looks really good at the moment. IINN Inspira Technologies. Let's see this one pulling back and crowing up at the same time. I have to see this thing. This is an interesting one for sure. Wow, 115 to 170. What the heck does this even say? 110 to 111. I'm gonna tell you, it looks like I'm not even looking at the same chart here, like the same stock. And this says it was January 10th, and this was January 10th. All right, so I just have to point this out because I do it all the time, and I'll do it real fast. But this is why you need accurate charting. I'm telling you, it doesn't even look like it's the same stock. I mean, it's crazy. So on FinViz, and again, I have the Elite. I pay for it. It went up 2 cents. It says 102. It says that it opened up at 110. Its high was a 111. Its low was 88, and it closed at 102 at 27 million in volume. Okay, that's what the numbers say here. So low 88 and high 111. And then when I look at mine, it just like I said, it just looked like a different chart because it said it opened at 115, pretty close, but it got up to 175, and its low was there at 89, and it closed at 98. This has it at that 98. It has it at 102, but it says it closed at 98. And but yeah, where did it run at 175? I had to have been the after hours. And again, if you're looking at this and you don't know that it ran to that 175 right there, and it blasted right through the 50, why it did it and got way up there at some point in the after hours. I mean, that makes the chart completely different. It was trying to cross through, and according on FinViz, you're like, wow, this thing's about to get rocking and rolling. And then you come over and look at it, like the live, what it really did. And yeah, you now it looks like it may not go through the MACD. It was trying to, but it already ran up and pulled itself back. So it's definitely crazy. It could easily stay in this channel of that 108 to 122, and it's at 98 right now, so it has to even jump up to there. And just totally different looks, but just wanted to point it out because, like I said, if you look at FinViz and you showed me that chart, and I was like, that's what exactly it closed like, and that's what it's setting up for a Monday, I'd be like, that's looking pretty decent. I mean, we should probably keep an eye on it. And then you just saw, and that's why it looked pretty decent. We should be keeping an eye on it because it did. It ran a 175 from like 102, which is a hell of a run up there, and came back to 98. So just wanted to point out why you do need that accurate charting. And I'm telling you, TrendSpider is by far the best, and there's not even close. And yeah, the FinViz is way off. I just use it to kind of look at the setup there, but there you go for that. And INNN hit the 175 at 7 a.m. So it does it in the pre-market. Thank you, Laptop Travel. So yeah, they have all day to figure that out. And again, it's just like 7 a.m. Anything before like 7:30 or 7 a.m. right there, it usually could show you. But again, like this market's running at 4 a.m. like it's maniac. Like it's actually running like it's the regular hours are running. It's not like it's a pre-market anymore. It's like a regular market running 24/7, especially at 4 a.m. You gotta have accurate charting. If you don't, you might as well hang it up because how the hell are you gonna know what's going on? And so yeah, thank you, Laptop. Because again, I didn't even know when it ran up, but I knew it ran up to that 175, and it's very important to know that. So, and that was early in the morning. So, I mean, it still looks set up on here, and it doesn't show that it ran up there. So, just wanted to point that out. And again, I have the Elite, the FinViz Elite. So, and FinViz was great back in the day. But now that all these markets have changed so much, and we talk about it often, how the pre-market with Webull was at 4 a.m. and everything else, and then it runs like 24/7 practically. And yeah, they have to upgrade software or something. I don't know what the heck's going on, but it's not even close. And so that's why I always have to look at. I've always looked at two charts, but I have to rely on the trend spider because it's very accurate, and that's why, because we would have never known it even ran like that. But it did look great, didn't it? And that's why. So it did run, and it ran at 7 a.m. So that's even crazier that it looks like that and it ran at 7 a.m. But we'll take a quick peek at it. But yeah, it did already run way up there. So it may have to stay in that channel for a hair now and then get set back up. But and that's why you got to sell them on the pops because you know they're going to come back down and get set back up to get running again. NIVF, this one we're looking at, this one's trying to get set back up too and get moving. So we'll keep an eye on this one. It does look really good there. I would say it's setting up for NIVF, looking good. So keep an eye on that. LICN, is this Lynchian, whatever? Hold on. Let me type it in. LICN, yeah, Lynch in China. And this thing was trying to get set up there. It was looking way good on January 6th on Monday. Last Monday, it looked good. And then it pulled back. It's still in the basement, but it's curled through. And now that 20 is up there at 18, and we're at 15. I mean, it's not crazy off, but it was right there before, and it could have got moving. Let me see. Yeah, let me I thought the phone just shut off, but it just kind of turned off. I didn't have it on the thing. Anyway, let me just look at this because it was getting set up. Has that little pullback look, and I think it is bottomed out there. I guess that Wednesday could have be its bottom at 15. It's at 0.1530, and then the other day it got down to like 0.1540 is what it says about right here. So we'll have to look at it and see what the heck is going on here and see if it wants to get moving. And this thing, what is? I'm not even looking at the right one. This one's not even the right. I was like, wait, that's not even right there. All right, let me look at the right one. I had something called Lincoln up. I don't know how I did that, but I changed the letters around and I was looking at mine. I'm like, wait, this one's not even the right chart. I can see that right here. That's why I kept going back and forth, going, what is going on? Anyway, back to this. LICN pulled back, and I still think that Wednesday could be its bottom there. So we will keep an eye on it. It did have that really big dip there, and it ran up not long ago. What day? December, right after Christmas. It was running up, and now it was getting set up. Like I said, it was right there, especially on January 6th. Last Monday, it was sitting right there, ready to pop up. It did pull back, and I think it is going to try to get set back up. Let's just see if it pulls back some more, and that's LICN. And now that I was looking at the right charts, I can see what it's doing. And let's look at the line here, LGHL, because that one did run up there. And I think this one's going to get set back up. It ran up. It couldn't hold itself. It pulled back down. I think it's going to get cruising back off that MACD here. And it's just right in that channel right there. So keep an eye on the line for this week because I think it is going to get set back up to run. So we'll watch LGHL. I didn't put them on the list, but we'll just do CTMT, the cheetah real quick. I'll just blast through it and see. That one was down 16 cents and pulling back there. And JAGX, this one was pulled back a little bit, had recently run up, coming back down to the MACD line. Let me see if it's going to try to roll off of there. This JAGX might be a good one to keep an eye on right there to see if it wants to roll back up. And Red Cat, RCat, that one's pulling back as well with all the other computer hardware and quantum ones. So that one's dipping down. And how about Hims and Hers, HIMS? This one was trying to get set up. It did pull back, and Friday, I think, was probably a really good opportunity. I think you might have had a lot of good opportunities there, but the market may pull back a little bit more this week. We'll have to take a look. And HIMS went 25.58 to 25.61. It pulled back into the 24s, but it closed at 25.34. So it's right there. It's sitting on that support line. The only thing is that 20 is coming down, so you're not exactly sure if it's ready to blast through yet. It may take a few more days there with HIMS, so we'll watch that and see what it wants to do here. And LUNR, that Lunars and Aerospace and Defense, pulling back to the MACD line. This one had run up pretty good for us. And let's see. This one could come crossing through. It could stop there at that 1647 area, so we'll have to see. But it does look like it wants to pull back some LUNR. And let's take a look at AZUL. AZUL, let's see. It was just kind of running up there. It was in a really good spot to try to get moving. Let me take a peek at this and see what it did. AZUL. 210 to 215 down to 197. It closed at 199. And I'll tell you what, it's not looking bad right here. 187 to like 231 could be a nice channel for it as it gets set up. We might have to keep an eye on this AZUL. I think that's getting set up right there, so I'll keep an eye on that. And let's look at NVNI here and see what this is doing. NVNI. That's NVNI Group, and this one had run up. I don't think we were looking at it, but on December 20th, it like ran way up there and topped out past $12, and it's down at $1.64 right now. NVNI. This one's interesting at the 50. This one we might catch at a good spot right here. Try to come back up to that 296. It's at 170 area. So yeah, I'll watch this tomorrow to see if it's trying to bounce, pull back some more, or get set back up into that channel. If it does, it'll be good because we'll catch it down low before it gets over that 20, like 274, and then it'll run right back up. So that's NVNI, and we'll have to keep an eye on that one. And let's look at ADD and see where this one wants to go besides all over the place. It's called Color Star. We've looked at it before. It was curling up. I looked at it Wednesday. It looks like it was its bottom. And that was at $1.42. You're at $1.79 right now. And ADD looks like it wants to have some ADD soon because it looks like it's setting up. So keep an eye on that one. And how about TNXP? Because that one ran recently for us. And let's see what it wants to do. I don't know how recent was it, in December? Yeah, it was before Christmas now that I think about it. It was a little while ago, but it did run up pretty good. And now you have that pullback, so you assume that it's going to try to set back up now that it's going to, it ran way up and it pulled back here. It is in the channel of the 50, like 25 cents, up to like 36 it can get to. So yeah, I'd say TNXP is going to try to set up. I don't know if it's ready yet, but it's going to get set up. Could take a week or so to do it. And that's TNXP and AFMD. This one had pulled back really good. It's still in the basement down here. AFMD. And let's see, it's just sitting right there on that support. That one's interesting too. That looks like it might have bottomed on Friday. I'll have to look at it. That 114, that's where it's at too. So I don't know. It might want to pull back some more. I can't really tell. That's at the 20s up here at 144. And that's AFMD. I'll look at this one in the morning. That one's even has me confused. So I'm going to jot that down just because I'm interested in that one. I just can't even get a good read on it, so I'm just curious as to what it wants to do there. So I'm just going to look at that and check it out, and I'll let you guys know what I think. But GRYP, I saw a few people talking about this, and I see why. It is setting up, crawl through, looks really good. GRYP. Let me type it in here, and it ran 40 to 71. What did this say? 46 to 57. Another one, see? I was going to say, it looks real good. It wants to run. And 40 to 71, and it closed at 42, and it probably still looks good. It did run up there on a Friday. I don't know if it did it in the after hours or pre-market, but it did it. And it is setting up here. It has to stay up over that 50 cent area. It's at 42 area. If it gets up to that 50 cents, it can get cruising. So keep an eye on this one. I'll have to watch it because, again, it did run up there, but it looks pretty decent right there. Trying to set back up, but has that run-up look. I think it's going to try to run up some more. So keep an eye on it. We'll look at it in the morning. GRYP, I'll write that one down too. GRYP, interested in that one. ADTX, ADTX, here we go. And this one reminds me of that ALLR, just staying in the basement forever. I think on Wednesday it could have been its bottom down there at that 15 cents. And ADTX, I must put ALLR. ADTX, it went 19 down to 16. and on Thursday or Wednesday it went down to 15. I think that was its bottom, and I think we might try to actually get set back up here. We'll have to take a look at it in the morning. It's not really indicating that wants to set back up, but I have a feeling it will, just because it looks like it did have that bottom. Might have to run down here for a few days and then try to get set up to get curled up and running. But that is at ADTX, and it's been in the basement for a long time, and it will get moving. It's just a matter of when it will do it there. And I don't know what AABB is. Is that a, oh yeah, it's an OTC Asian broadband. Let me see. It did run up there on Friday. What is that? Point 0.3 to, yeah, point 0.3. It's just running around up there. It did move. I can't really tell what it wants to do, if it topped out. And again, the OTCs aren't the easiest, but it did run. I can tell it ran and it pulled back a little bit. That's about all I can tell, and I'm not so sure if it wants to run up more. And that's at AABB, and it is an OTC. RADR, what's that? That doesn't even come up either. Is that one too? I don't even see anything for that. Did I write it down? I'm not sure. I'll have to look at what that one was. If anyone knows, I'll go back and see. LAES, let me see what that is. Seals Q. And this one had done that big pullback with a lot of them on Friday. And let's see what LAES is trying to do this week here. It's hitting that 20. I think they're trying to still pull back some more. So I don't know if Wednesday was at bottom. It could have been. It's sitting on the 20 there. Got down to that 325, and we're in the fives now at a 5 to 53 area. So that Wednesday could be its bottom, but also it could be setting back up and not like really getting trying to move yet. So we'll look at all them. I'll take a peek at all them bad boys tomorrow, semiconductors and the quantums and all them guys, and see what they want to do. And let's look at that STI and see what that's up to. STI looks like it's trying to get moving again. It was run up there. Let's see. Actually, I remember we were looking at it back here, December 30th, right before the new year. And it is right above that 20 and trying to move 51 to 63. It closed at 60, and it looks pretty good, guys. I would have to say it's trying to move. I'd have to look at it, but it's trying to. So I think if the market conditions are good, that one's trying to get set back up to get cruising again. STI and AIMD. Let's see what that's doing here. And the game is back on. It looks like, yeah, it looks like the game's on. It's still 10-10. And AIMD, let's see, that one was running up there Friday. Let's see what it's going to do this week. And it went 57 to $1. It's at 70 cents and not looking bad. I mean, it looks like it could want to run back up there. AIMD, I would keep an eye on that, maybe for some momentum right there. So that could be a momentum play, if anything, AIMD. And let's take a look at edible EDBL. Let's see what that's doing today. See what that's going to eat. That's going to either eat it up or eat it down. It's hitting the MACD. I think that Friday might have been its bottom. It hit that 20 right there. And I think edible might try to get cruising back up here. So that's one I would take a look at tomorrow. I'll look at that one as well. Let me take a look at edible and see what it wants to do. But I think it might be trying to crawl back up, not looking bad. Did we look at MD? No, I don't think so. That's at Mind Medicine. And this one setting up had a really nice pullback Friday. It looked great there on what was that, Tuesday? And Wednesday it kind of pulled back. And then Friday it looked like it was trying to set back up. MNMD. And it is crossed through on here with 710 to 715. That's 686 right now. I'd have to, it looks way better on here, but it still doesn't look bad. I think it could try to get set up. I'll have to make sure I look at this thing in the morning just to take a better look at it and see what that wants to do as well. And that is MNMD. It could go either way. But if it wants to run, it could be a good runner because it is trying to get set up here and could try to get back up into them 8. And it's at 695, 686, somewhere's in that area. How about BCAB, Bio Alta or something like that. And this one's way down there in the basement trying to crawl up and not looking too bad down here. BCAB. BCAB. There we go. And yeah, that one Friday, what it do? 55 and it got down to 52 and it came back, closed at that 55. Has that crazy look on it? Like it wants to try to do something. Another one, I'd like to look at it tomorrow, but it looks like it's trying to do something there. So I'll keep an eye on that. LEGN, let's see what that is doing. That Legend Biotech. It did run Friday, and this one doesn't look too bad. LEGN. 32.51 to 37.50. Here we go. 34.69. And this one does look good. This one could be a quick legend soon. So keep your eye on that because that one looks like it's setting up to move. I do like that one. LEGN looking nice there. And let's look at Penn, PENN. That's Penn Entertainment, and this one's looking much better. It did take a nice little dip down here to $17 area on Friday, but it's back up into the 19s real quick. PENN and looking much better to roll off that MACD. So that Friday could have been its bottom, and that is looking good. And I remember we looked at this not long ago. I know it was right here, so it took a better dip. It was in the 18s. And I know exactly where it was because I know where the line was and it was coming up on it. So it was right around here, 18, 19. I know it was, but it took that nice dip on Friday, and that's probably your dip and rip on Penn. So keep an eye on that because that's getting moving relatively soon. That wants to run, I would say, setting up right there. MRUS, let's see what MRUS is doing here. MRUS, that one ran up real good on Friday. MRUS. Not sure that I saw this, but 43.63 to 47.75. It's at 44 and still looks real good right there. So keep an eye on that one. I think that one could be a momentum play right there for MRUS. So you can keep an eye on that one for some momentum. And let's see what Lung has. Let's see if it has some good lungs here. If it wants to run, it does. It looks like it does. 676, and it looks like it's rolling up there. LUNG. Here we go. Let's see, 733, and it actually pulled back. What did this say it did? 624 to 681. Are we even in the same planet here? And it got up to 681. And this one says 733 down to 624. So just gapped up in the morning and then came back down, but still looks pretty good actually. So Lung is not looking bad. It's just funny if Finviz shows it's set up to go up, and the Turn Spider shows that it ran up and it came back down, but setting back up. So it has opposite looks, but both of them look set up to go. So I guess that's a good thing, but it's kind of odd. I don't know if I ever remember really seeing something like that. It literally like reverse looks. And but both of them look good, and it's the same chart. So there you go. Just kind of bizarre, but LUNG not looking bad, and CHSN. That Chanson International, I remember looking at this thing and it had run way up there. It like did a crazy move that one day, 280 to $15 in October. And this thing is curling up and looking good, guys. So you might want to look at CHSN. That's looking pretty good. It went 528 to 576, down to 429 and closed at that 529. So it closed basically where it opened, has some crazy looks, and it does look like it wants to cross through there. So keep an eye on that one as well. And that is CHSN. It could be setting up right there, and we'll look at it and see what it wants to do. And how about BlackBerry, I believe, is BB. Let's see, BlackBerry it is. And this thing's been running up and it's in the top and looks like it may want to curl up some more. Go BlackBerry, look at this thing. And yeah, it's not looking too bad, but it is in the top. I'd be careful with it. It does look like it wants to roll up. I'd have to look at it to make sure in the morning. It went 399 to 412. It's at 406. And like I said, it is in the top, so you got to be careful with BB. And that is BlackBerry. Who knew they even were around? Do they even do anything? Like, they probably own patents to things, I would imagine, but who knows? I have no idea. And but can you imagine? They were one of the very first ones to do all the technology, and they got blown out the water, it seems like. So And there you go, a BlackBerry. I guess their R&D wasn't very good back in the day. Let's go through and see which ones were really good here, and we'll talk about. We'll jot them down. Like said, that GRNQ. I think we're gonna have to put a line near there, and then we had these couple down here. That CNSP, that COEP. A couple of them bad boys. Them three were probably some of the best ones. GNS was looking good. Let me run through them real quick, see which ones I really like here, and we'll figure it out. GNS is looking good. We may have a couple here. COEP. Let's see, COEP. That's more of a momentum play, but it is going to run up there. It's in the top. CNSP is looking good, guys. That one looks pretty solid to try to move tomorrow. And what else did I say? That GRNQ looks like another good momentum play. So I'm going to say there's probably two good momentum plays here. That GRNQ is a good momentum play, and also the COEP. Is that the other one? That was the momentum one. Let me make sure. COEP. They were good momentum plays. And then I would say CNSP right here is probably going to be a good guy. And what was the other one I said was, what did I say it was? COEP. GNS. That one's looking good too. So we'll keep an eye on GNS as well, that Genius Group. So there you go. There's four of them that look really good right there. Let's look at our laptop travel list, and we'll see what looks good on his list right here. ARMP, that one's setting up right there. That's looking pretty good. Let me see. ARMP. That's in between the channel. Not sure if it's going to blast off tomorrow. I'll try to find the exact one that's going to move. ATER, and sometimes it's harder on a Sunday, obviously, but we'll give it a shot. ATER coming down, gonna be between that channel. These are all setting up perfect. AXDX. Let's see this one. This one may be the one right there. We'll have to put a dot next to AXDX. I like that right there. That's looking really good. Let me make sure. AXDX. AXDX, yeah, that one's probably going to be a mover tomorrow, it looks like, right there. DNTH, this one could be pulling back a little bit. DNTH, let me know what you guys want to look at. I'll go through the messages next. I see there's a few messages here, and I know earnings season kicks off with TSM this Thursday in the pre-market, and it's going to be crazy. There's a lot of the earnings coming up here, so it's going to get wild. And I think, and again, we're about to change the administrations next Monday, and a lot of things are setting up. I think we just saw a nice pullback, and we have like some crazy fires going on as well in California. So thoughts and prayers to all them people and anyone suffering from that, because it is horrendous what's going on out there, and that's just leadership, just terrible leadership, honestly. You see, I posted about it. I've been in that industry almost my entire life. I definitely know it well, and there's no way you're not prepared for fire safety. I promise you, it's the number one most important thing. Safety first, and your fire safety is like the most important thing. You can't be scrambling when a fire breaks out. There's no scramble time, guys. There is no time. Every second is very crucial, and you have to be ahead of the game and have multiple plans intact all the time, and all the leaders have to be all involved and be on the same page. And it comes down to leadership. If you ever want to see things run smooth, you know that they have great leadership and everyone's on the same page. If you want to see things crumble apart, there's zero leadership and no one's on the same page. Just look, they're all pointing fingers. No one knows what's going on, and that's exactly from the leadership. I promise you, like I said, I've done it firsthand for my entire life. So I definitely know it. And yeah, it's sad. It's really, really sad. It should never be happening. And again, they just didn't take it serious. And it's not something that you can do. You can't be behind the eight ball in fire safety. I'm sorry, but you just can't. And you have to be 50 steps ahead at every second. And if you're not, you're going to get caught with your pants down, and you're going to get caught on fire. And you play with fire, you get burnt. And that's what they did. They played with fire, they got burnt. And that's exactly what's going to happen every single time that you're not prepared for a fire. So, and again, that's why you check your smoke detectors, your carbon monoxide detectors, your fire extinguishers, and you make sure that you know how to get in and out of your house. I'm telling you, still to this day with a brain injury, any place I go to, I know where the exits are. I know there's an escape and evacuation plan already in my mind, no matter where I'm at. And you have to think that way because at any moment, something can break out, and the time to think about it is not during the time that it's breaking out. You already have to, your body has to just go through the motions and just be able to just do what you need to do to get out safe. And that's a lot of many years of doing a lot of training and safety stuff and teaching it and being in it for my whole life. And yeah, it's no joke, and it's really sad to see. So definitely been thinking about all of them people in California, and obviously everybody probably knows somebody affected. I mean, it's insane. So definitely thinking about that and just how are they even going to rebuild that? It's unbelievable. I mean, you're talking entire town. Just think about like towns that you live in, entire city, like towns and blocks are just burnt down. I mean, it's crazy to see it. Not something you ever thought you'd see in the U.S. And so yeah. And again, came down to very poor leadership right there. But anyway, let's get back to our charts right here. And DNTH. This one is coming back down too, so that one is pulling back there. Let's see what EQ is up to. EQ. I remember looking at this one a few times and it had run way up there. And this one's going to get set up probably in the next week or so. Yeah, it's just in that channel. Let that get set back up there. Let's look at Hook. HOOK and see what Hook is up to. Oh, this one's hooking up here. This one was running up on Friday, it looks like. Let me see what it did. Yeah, it recently ran up too on right after the new year, but it did hook up there 192 to 280. It closed at 217. This looks like it's going to be a run or two in the morning. Good old Hook. HOOK is looking pretty good. IBTA. Let's see that one real quick. IBTA. And that one is getting set up. It's not looking bad either. I don't know if it's going to move tomorrow, if it's going to be a popper up tomorrow, but it is getting set up. I would say it's not going to pop tomorrow and get set up in the next few days. JDR is, that's not a J, that's an I. IDR it is. Hold on. IDR, here we go. Idaho Strategic Resources. This one looks real good too. IDR, if I could type tonight. Yeah, this one looks really nice to be a setup right there. So let's mark that one. LFWD. Let's see. LFWD. Life Ward. Oh, we were just looking at this. It ran way up there on January 6th, like last Monday. It's pulling back into that channel. Doesn't look bad. LFWD. Not sure if it wants to run yet. Let's see tomorrow when it comes down to that MACD line right there. And we'll see what it looks like. And Hook does have the potential for some explosive gains, so definitely watch that one. It is hooking up there. And let's see real quick, IBTA. Let's see what the rest of these are looking like. That one's just setting up and pulling back. Not too bad. It'll be a setup right there. Hold on, I think I went backwards. I definitely did. I was like, wait, I looked at this one. LFWD, I think we just did. Life Ward. All right, yeah, let me get back on the right track. LICY, Lie Cycle. This one's just pulling back a little bit. Let me just make sure it's not trying to set up here in the after hours. Nah, just in that channel. That'll get set up right there. ONVO. This one is just pulling back. It was looking much better. Now it's going to have to pull back and set up. It did run up there a little bit on this last Monday. A lot of them ran up and then pulled back basically last week. So we'll see that one. That one will get set back up. RDI, Reading International. This one is just kind of pulling back a little bit. RDI. Yeah, just sitting in that channel. That one will get good, just not ready yet. And let's look at SHIP. That one is getting ready to ship out. Maritime, this one's looking pretty good, guys. SHIP. So keep an eye on ship because that one's looking really good. And Laptop Travel was saying that he liked it. I saw him post it a couple seconds ago. And yeah, ship and hook, look at them. A hook ship or a ship hook because they're both looking good right there. And WPRT, Westport Fuel Systems is just trying to set back up. It had run up and it'll set back up. So for our laptop travel ones, we have a couple right here. AXDX, Hook, IDR, and Ship. What was IDR? I don't even remember. We just did it like 3 seconds ago. Oh yeah, that one's curling up and looking good. So there you go. You have like four of them for there. All right, Genius down here. GNS, but here I'll write down some laptop travel ones. AXDX. And we had Hook. We have IDR. And we have ship. There you go. So I'll make a list each night. We'll write them down and we'll keep track of some of the best ones. And there you go. I'll run through the messages. Our crypto. We'll look at crypto real quick. It was up and down all weekend. It was kind of just pulling back. Hopefully it gets moving tonight into tomorrow and it bounces back up. It wasn't looking bad. And then we'll take a look at our Mag 7 because it looks like they're all down in the overnight from what Laptop Travel just posted. I'll repost it so you guys can see it right there. But they do look down. Let's look at crypto real quick. I'll take a quick peek at that, and then we'll see what's going on with the messages and our big caps and stuff, and then we'll get rolling. So here we go. Let me see what our crypto looks like real quick. And it is down 94,323 is where Bitcoin is at the moment. But let's see what that chart's doing because like I said before, it was trying to that 50, what is it? The 10, 50 and 200. Yeah, 50 is curling down still on it, but it's made a nice base. So we're going to have to wait, I think, for it. And honestly, in crypto time, that's like a day or two. So it could very easily get set up in the next day or two, maybe 3 days. And again, Monday, they take over, not this Monday, a week from tomorrow, they are changing the administration. So Ethereum's at 3,264. And let's see where that's at. That's in the channel there. The 200's under it, making a nice base. That 50's up over it. Ripple's at 252. This thing was looking great. Remember we were talking about this thing? The 50's running up and it's going to shoot it up. This thing's going to get back up into the $3 area and keep moving. Ripple is looking great, guys. So Ripple's looking really nice. Solana's back to 186 and it is just making a base right here, and that 20 is way over it to come down. So it could come down a little bit more, but it is making a nice base. So I'm not sure it's going to, but it is not exactly bullish at the second. Cardano ADA, it's at 95 cents. And that one's making a base in the 50s just above it. So we'll have to see what Cardano is going to do there. And Doge is at 33. And let's see what that's up to. And that one's just making a base. And that 50's way up there and coming down. So that one's going to have to hang out probably for a little bit there and get set up. Let's look at good old Bonk here. BONK. See what Bonk's doing. And that was down. I know that. Let's see how far it came down. Yeah, Bonk came down to the 200. So, and that 50 is coming to curl down. I think it may sit on this 200 and try to base out and wait for that 2 or the 50 to come meet it, which has a little bit of time. I'm not going to say it's months away, but could be like a week or so. So we'll have to look at Bonk and see what it's about to do here. We'll keep an eye on that. How about that WIF, even though Laptop Travel's wife does not like it anymore? It's at $1.51. And it's probably making a good base right there. And we'll have to take a look at it. Maybe we'll grab that bad boy down cheap. And somebody wanted me to look at TIA, which is like Celestia, I think, or something like that. I forget what it's called. Does it even say? It doesn't even say it on here anymore. Let me see. I think it says it on here. TIA, I think that's what it's called. TIA USD. Does it say it? Doesn't say it on here. Maybe that's not it. I don't even know. But anyway, let's look at it. It's at what? 484, it says. And I have both charts up now. And let's see. That one's interesting because your 50's way up and then your 200's even over it, and you're making a base down here, and it might be trying to curl off that MACD and try to get cruising up. We'll have to look at it. It has to get back over this 20. It's been trying to push the case, but it has to get, say it gets over the $5 range, and it'll be good. It's at 484, and that's TIA, and that's a crypto coin as well. So there you go with them bad boys, and we'll see what's happening with the messages. Let's go through and see where you guys are. I see a couple already popped up here, so we'll just start rolling through some, take a look at them. I see CNEY and SYTA from Michael Graham, so let's take a look at them bad boys. CNEY. This was running the other day, came back down, and honestly, not looking bad. I bet this one's going to get set back up, and we'll watch for this one tomorrow. Is going to get set up. Friday could be its bottom there at 30 cents. It's back to 31. I think it's going to try to get set up and roll off that MACD. SYTA, let's see. Unless the market's really getting crushed, then they can obviously pull back. I'm just telling you what they look like at the moment. SYTA, we were looking at it. I remember it's in that channel. It ran up a little bit last week, and it is looking pretty good here. So I think SYTA is going to be a mover right there this week. So that one looks good. The leaders in overnight trading, let's see, Boyle, UNG, NTRA, NTES, TXG, and PCG. There you go from Laptop Travel. I'll repost that out. You guys can check them bad boys out. We'll look at Boyle and Cold real quick. BOIL. That is up, and I mean, we were way early on that bad boy and called that one, said it was getting hot and Cold was getting cool, and Cold went way down and Boyle went way up, so they were played perfectly. And UNG, that's at United States Natural Gas Fund, and this one's curling back up and looking really good right there. NTRA, what is that one? NTRA, Natara. And this one's curled up and probably going to be a little momentum play in the morning right here. NTRA, 178 to 180, and it came down to 175 is where it's at now. I'll have to look at that, but it doesn't look too bad. What did I say? It's at 185 right there. NTES, let's see, NTES, NetEase, and this one's curling up right there, not looking bad. TXG, I think, is a EATF. No, it's 10X Genomics. Genomics. I thought that was a ETF. Anyway, that one is just sitting there right above the 50, not looking bad at all. And PCG, let's see what that's doing. PCG is PG&E Corp. And let's see, that's a nice dip there. That could be a I'd watch that one for a nice bounce right here. PCG way down here, 1889 down to 1690. It's at 1726. And what's it say? 1773. And yeah, that one could be a decent mover. So there you go with that one. Keep your eye on there. And we're going to see a bounce on the chips, the TSM, NVIDIA, Intel, Dell, MU. I believe that as well. Let's cruise through. We'd like the ship. I'll post that out real quick. Let me cruise right through. And Hook was looking good, like I said. And earnings season, TSM, NTES. Let's look at that one. NTES, Trayman. NTES. Let's see. NetEase. Oh, we were just looking at it, just pulling back. He said it's moving up, moving pre-market. NTES. Let's see. Like I said, I don't know if the TrendSpider is going to show me that, but where it was 93 to 94.47, it's at 91.11. And yeah, it's not looking bad. It was just trying to curl up. It was really trying to curl up there on Wednesday and just didn't do it. And then just kind of ran up a little bit and then came back down and kind of flattened out there. So not looking bad at all for that NTES. I won't disagree with that. How about let's look at TRNR and PET, good old pet for Barbara. TRNR, let's see, interactive strength. It was down 20. I know it did pull back there. It was looking good. It ran up a little bit on that January 7th, and now it's pulled back the last 2 days with the rest of everything else. And let's see, it got right under that 20, but wasn't looking terrible. We'll have to take a look at it. It has to get back up over this $3 to look good again. So we'll see if it comes back down, tries to bounce off that bottom. That 270 Friday could be its bottom again. I know it had gotten down to 261, but it did run up there. So we'll look at it in the morning, see what that wants to do. Let's take a look at PET and see what PET wants to do. That's WAG Group. This is just in that channel right there. And it was just pulling back a little bit. PET. And let's see, 27 to 29. It closed at 28 and not looking bad. I mean, I'll look at it. It was trying to curl back up. It doesn't look like it wants to pull back too hard. If it comes down, it'll be that 24 cent area. So not looking terrible on PET. It could pull back a little bit, but not real bad. IINN hit 175. Yeah, you did say that one. Thank you. Let's see what else. And that yeah, that EIX chart did look great before the other day and before the LA fires. I'll agree with that. And Walgreens showed progress in its turnaround with Q1 results surpassing expectations. Efficiency gains, better reimbursements, and U.S. healthcare growth are positive despite planned closures and retail sales dip. JP Morgan holds a buy rating at $15. Thank you, Laptop Travel. But yeah, they were looking really bad right there, Walgreens. You know, we were talking about it, and they obviously turned it around. They were looking to sell the thing privately, which was crazy. JP Morgan was looking great the other day, and that pulled back. I mean, it ran up a little bit, pulled back. They do have earnings coming up on January 15th, which is Wednesday. So tons of earnings coming up. Well, I can read some of them. We can go through the stock splits real quick. There are a ton of them. That B hat, we definitely did that bad boy right there. What else right here? Luis Rodriguez had a few. That GRNQ, CEG. What isn't that? We looked at that last week. That was a Constellation Energy. It ran way up there. We were saying that looked good, and that one got cruising there. 245 to 310. It's at 304, so that was a beauty right there. How about that POAI right here? That was up a little bit. It ran last week. It's up in the top and it pulled back out. Let's see. I think it was trying to curl back up the other day. And it could be trying to. We'll see. It's going to pull back and we'll see if it wants to roll back up there. VLO. Oh, that Valero Energy. This one is trying to cruise up. The energy sector was looking pretty good, huh? VLO. And it was running up 127 to 130, and it closed at 127.21. And it does look pretty good. Valero Energy right there. And good old plug. We looked at this and it had run up for us. Pulled back, but it looks like it's set back up to run up again. So keep your eye on plug right here. It looks like it wants to plug back up and move. So 267 to 299. It's at 284. And like I said, it does look good. Nice list right there, Luis Rodriguez. And let's see, I got everything. BUD, which one is that, Trey, man? I don't even know what Bud is. Is that Anheuser-Busch? I just thought of it. Oh, wow, what did they do? They went way down. Their woke agenda killed them, huh? Is the party over? Alcohol stocks are having a terrible start to 2025. Holy cow. I'm telling you, cannabis is the way to go. I've said it my whole life, and I guess a lot of more people are finally starting to catch on. Alcohol is like the worst thing ever. It makes you feel terrible. You can't even do anything the next morning. You can smoke as much cannabis as you really want. You can wake up at 6 a.m. and and you can wake and bake and still get cruising. So, I mean, it's not even close. They've never been close in my mind. And alcohol looks like it's getting destroyed. I don't even, honestly, everyone I knew that was big drinkers for the most part are now huge potheads. And it's now it's totally legal, recreational in Jersey. We have dispensaries on literally on every corner now. It's insane. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know who's open. I say it all the time. I know that industry real well. These guys opening these things, they don't get it, but more power to them because there are so many of them. I mean, you can go. I'm going to do this in the next month. I'm going to go dispensary hopping. Why it's winter time. I'll just videotape it all, go and make a purchase at each one, and I'll show you the different stuff and all the the Jersey dispensaries. I'm telling you, come outside Philly, right over the bridge into Jersey, and it is loaded with dispensaries. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it. I've always dreamed about this my whole life, but I've never thought I'd see it. And it is. I mean, I've been traveling the country and doing speeches at the cannabis conventions for a long time, over probably a decade now. I haven't done them since my brain injury, but I was going out west and doing them out in Colorado and all the states out there for Oregon and things of that nature for a long time. Why the rest of these states weren't even thinking about it. Some of them were just trying to get medically legal, and I knew the industry well back then, and I'd go dispensary hopping. So I'll have to go and do that in Jersey because it's really stepped up its game. The prices are a little pricey around here. Still, they're still a little higher than they should be, but that'll start to come down. Like I said, the competition is insane, and they do all send like coupons and stuff, so you can get some good discounts. And I'll tell you what, it's definitely gotten much better in the last year, and there are dispensaries everywhere. So yeah, I'll have to do that. And I've been wanting to do it anyway, so I'll film it and just make a little episode about it for you cannabis lovers. And you guys can see what the cannabis world is like in New Jersey, because like I said, it's gotten crazy out here. It's almost as good as like Colorado and things like that, like the big booming places that were really booming and thriving from the beginning. New Jersey went nutty. So, and honestly, they didn't do it not too bad. I'm not gonna lie. They held all the licenses back for a while. They only gave them to the big MSOs, which was kind of a good idea. Um, because the smaller people would have just gotten toasted. They would have just burned through so much money, and all these big MSOs, they burned through all that money, and they've been still trying to burn through money to fight the federal legalization and everything. I think the industry is about to get much better as Trump comes in. I think you're going to see the banking reform happen and the Safe Bank Act happen, and I think he may federally legalize it, not be honest with you, enough with it. So you may see that industry actually become a booming industry. It just can't because of all the banking laws and just the way they set it up. I spoke about it many times before, but long story short, you just can't operate companies the way they are forced to operate. You can't basically make a headquarters in every single state with a manufacturing facility and all these facilities in every single state to be able to work. Caterpillar couldn't do it, and none of the other big companies could do it. They find the state that works best for them for their resources, that they can keep the prices low on their taxes, their overhead, and that's where they headquarter from. They do a lot of their manufacturing there. They find where that's best, and then they ship it throughout the country. Cannabis, you can't ship it across the state line, so you got to do everything in state, and that's got to be set up like that in every state. So it's just it's a failing industry just set up that way. And again, most of the people that are very profitable are not the dispensaries or growers. I'm not going to lie. It's all the middlemen and people that aren't really touching the plant. The plant is which gives you everything in the industry, but it's extremely expensive to grow quality cannabis. People don't realize, and you have to have skill, real skill. I know Ovi Grows listens to the show, and I've seen things that he does, and he's a grower. Let's put it that way. And I know it's not easy. It's a lot of overhead, and and yeah, he's actually hit a bunch of stock picks and funded some of his recent grows with it. But yeah, it's an art nowadays, and it always has been. But you got to really understand it's not like growing tomatoes by no means. So it's very expensive overhead, and you got to have a lot of knowledge and do it perfect. But anyway, and off the cannabis and back to Budweiser, which is just looking terrible. Thing's been in the basement down here since like October, since Halloween, and we're in the new year. It's still in the basement, so I guess people are not into Budweiser. I wonder what the other alcohol breweries are doing, because that's probably kind of interesting. We'll look at them. ABEV is way down. Bud's way down. CCU is another company. That one's not looking too bad. FMX, I don't know what that is, but that's down. Sam, that's way down. Boston Beer Company, Samuel Adams. Holy cow, that got smoked. That's down to 256. STZ is way down. Constellation Brands. Holy cow. And Tap is Molson, and they got smoked too. So yeah, they're not kidding. Beer is getting smashed right now. Alcohol, holy cow. So yeah, there might be some interesting ones to look at the bottom and see if they're going to run back up. But there you go with the beer prices right there, and that's Bud. I think, yeah, Treyman asked about that one. EIX is sinking. Coca-Cola, KO, I believe that's Coca-Cola. Let's see, KO is Coca-Cola. And that one is just kind of making a base here, getting set up. It's not ready. It doesn't look like it's ready yet, but it will be getting set up there for Coca-Cola. I know Pepsi was way down too. PEP. That was down to 142, like way down there. So that's in the basement. They generally don't go down there that far. So that one's way down. A lot of the beverages are way down. I don't know what's going on with that. TRAW, let's see, TRAW. That one had run up, I remember last week. That one's just pulling back there on the 50. Let's see, TRAW here. That one's actually running up 811 to 1276. It's at 1270 right here. Uh, yeah, it don't look too bad. I mean, it doesn't say that here. Oh, it did. It ran up in the after hours there. That's for sure. TRAW, I would say keep an eye on that in the morning. That could be a runner, a more of a momentum running runner right there, Trey Man. And let's see what else you guys want to look at real quick. Let me cruise up here. CDT. I know we did both of them bad boys. I don't know what I said for either of them, but I'll look real quick. Let me see what Conduit Pharmaceuticals. That might be still a, oh yeah, that's probably your momentum play right there. And LAES, I think I had to look at, might be still pulling back. I'm not sure about that one. And let's see, a briefing with the Fire Command team for the Palisades Fire in the space right now. Oh, Elon's on there. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Laptop travel. We might have to listen to that. That's probably going to be great right there. Maybe we will. We did everything else. And we could do all the big caps tomorrow. We did the crypto, and I answered, yeah, let's do that. I have to listen to that because I'm interested in that stuff. I love that fire talk and stuff. Like I said, I did it my entire life. I told you guys, did home inspections and building inspector and I was a fire inspector for well over 2 decades. So I did it for a long time and I took it very serious. You can't play around with fire safety. I'm telling you, it's no joke. And they didn't take it serious. That was the problem. That's why I was posting about it and said it was poor leadership. I completely understand exactly what you need to do and to run it smooth. And it's not easy, but it's one of the most important things that you're going to do for your community. So you got to make sure that it's important. And I've done it in big towns and small towns. And obviously, I've never done it for an entire state, but clearly they had the resources and just did not use them. So it was crazy. B Hat, we did talk about, like I said, I'm going to look at that first thing in the morning. It doesn't look bad. It didn't close bad. It'll say that, and I'll definitely take a look at it in the morning there. And ADTX is just pulling back. It's been in the basement forever, and we're just waiting for that bad boy to get out there. So we'll look at both of them in the morning as well. And yeah, I think we got everything there. I'm going to be doing crypto spaces with Wolf and them guys on Wednesday at I believe 11 a.m. and tomorrow the small cap show I believe at 2 p.m. So I think I tweeted that one out, posted that. I'll resend them bad boys out again. And but yeah, I appreciate them guys having me on. It's always a lot of fun and a lot of great insight. Like I say, I just basically look at the stock charts, and a lot of them guys are fundamental. So it's definitely interesting to listen to some of it. As I listen, I always look at the charts to see what they're saying, and I'm like, yeah, I can see this company being good in the long term. And these guys have the actual statistics, the numbers, and what they're up to. I don't look at any of it. So we just look at a stock chart for 3 seconds and nail them, and that's all we do. And hey, it's good enough for me. But it is interesting. I'm always intrigued. I just love everything about it. So there you go. And yeah, we'll cop off and we'll go and listen to Elon talk about the LA fire relief effort because I'm sure that's pretty interesting right there. And we'll cover everything. The spy, obviously, we know it was down, and everything else was pretty down on Friday. Nothing we really have to look at. I'll go through the entire list tomorrow, all the big caps real quick. We can nail them in the morning. And remember, I was saying we didn't want that SPY to come down to that 570, and it came down through 580. It went to 578. So I was talking about that exact line, that 570. It might come down there. That's why tomorrow could be pulled back for the next day or so. And then we're going to be bouncing off of there and getting cruising. So obviously, we'll be on at 7 a.m. for our Jolie's jumpers and our laptop lowdowns. As a matter of fact, I didn't do my Jolie's jams. I skipped them. Hold on, we got to do that. AGFY. Let me do Agrify. That was pulled back. I'll put my video up. I just did a cannabis video about Agrify. Pretty interesting that I talked about it back in October when Agrify, before they reverse split, it had run up. It ran up pretty big recently, right after that reverse split. But the owner of the company, the CEO, he had like three different companies, and apparently he sold one of the companies to one of his other companies, and an acquisition. And yeah, he's been all kinds of crazy acquisitions and in between his three different companies there. And yeah, it's pretty interesting for sure. But the stock did go crazy. I mean, like I said, it was down in the dollar range, $2 range, and it went up over $88, $84. So it did run pretty big, Agrify, but it does look like it might be pulling back some more right here. That BLNK, good old blank charging. This one's a decent one. It's in that channel right now. It's going to get crawled back up. It did run back up. We knew, was that last Monday or Tuesday, and it ran up there and then it pulled back there. DRUG, this one's going to be on drugs. It did pull back on Friday, but it's still set up really nice. See if it pulls back a little bit more into that 36 area, and that would be much better. It's at the 38 area right now for DRUG. Good old Sezzle. Here's another good one right here that pulled back, and let's see if it pulls back some more. It's at 228. It was looking great right there and did pull back the last 2 days, trading days anyway, with everything else. So we'll look at that in the morning or tomorrow to see. And Rivian, this one was pulling back. We hit this one all the way up to its resistance right there, and that's going to have to set back up. And DJT, Trump Media, is getting set back up. That actually looks good. And again, he takes office in a week, so I could see that one getting bouncing. And there's your Jolie's Jams right there. That's a new one on our list, and we'll do them each night and check them bad boys out and anything Asian Jolie wants to look at. And then we'll look at our Jolie's Jumpers in the morning, our laptop loadouts, and our SPY and all of our big caps. We'll look at our crypto and anything you guys want to see. So there you go. And yeah, I'm interested to go see what Elon's saying about the fire. So I'm going to hop on there and check it out and listen to that bad boy. So you guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Oh, I have to look at Jennifer Lee. She just popped some in real quick on us. Let's look at them real quick. DKNG, let's see. Because you know these will be good in the morning. Oh, DraftKings, curling up, looking great. I would say you're on the money with DKNG. That pen looked real good too. That's another gambling one. But DKNG looking good. VZLA, Vizsla Silver. Let's see what that's up to. That's looking interesting, huh? VZLA. Let me see. VZLA. It did run up there. I'd have to look at this one in the morning. It has that crazy look. 201, open and close. It went 201 to 208, down to 198, and closed at that 201. Doesn't look bad, just has that crazy look. I'm just not sure which way it wants to go. That RGTI was crazy looking too. I think they're still dipping down. I know it was trying to bounce back up, but then came down. I think they're still pulling back, and we'll look to see if it hits that 50 down here in the $6 area. So they could be pulling back some, and I'll go through them bad boys tomorrow. KULR, this one had run up. It was pulling back. I think that one might have a little more pullback in it too. KULR. It's just in that channel trying to pull back to the 50, it looks like. So that one may come back down a little bit right there. And there you go. So yeah, I'm going to look at the all the computer hardware and the quantum ones tomorrow and see what they're up to. I think they had a little more pullback in them, and we'll see if they're trying to get cruising anytime soon. Oh, his meeting's over. Laptop Travel said, "There you go. That meeting's over. I'll have to catch the replay then." So, oh, well, we'll go through the spy then since that meeting's over. I'll catch the replay and listen to it when we get off. So no, come on, we'll stay on for a couple, 15, 20 more minutes and I'll hit the spy. Here we go. Let's look at it. We know it was down. It was down like $9. Like I said, it wanted to go down to that 570. We were afraid of it. And it did come into the 578 and it could come down there tomorrow. So keep an eye on it to be dipping down there. Good old Apple. That was down. It's hitting them resistance lines right there. I mean, it's going to come down to the bottom and have to bounce back up. I don't think Apple's going into the basement, so we should see a reverse soon. Amazon pulled back. That's going to hit the support line of 214 probably and try to bounce back up, I feel like. Google, GOOG, this one pulled back, and this one looks like it could dip down because that 50's way down there at like 182, and this is at 193, so that looks like it wanted to pull back. Meta was up, but then pulled back in the after hours, but like I said, Zuck, he keeps running to the White House and meeting with Trump, and Meta looks great, so keep your eye on Meta. Just watch out. It has some resistance up here in the 633 area, and it's at 615. So Meta looking crazy. Zuck keeps meeting with Trump, and I don't know what he's doing. Microsoft was pulling back and just kind of dipping down there, hitting that support line. Let's see if it can hold it right there. And Nvidia pulled back, and that one looks like it should blast off tomorrow, but who the hell knows what it's going to do, but it should. If it falls down, it could really come down there, so we'll see if it holds up tomorrow. Nvidia, it's going to be an interesting morning. It almost looks like it should blast off, it should pull back, who the hell knows? It's like a coin flip to me. I can't really tell, to be honest with you, but it looks like the positioning of it should try to bounce, is what it looks like to me for Nvidia. And good old Tesla was down a little bit. That was up and down. It looks like it's trying to set up. Even if it comes back, it's coming back down to the 365. It's in the 390s. Nothing crazy for Tesla, and it could get moving. AMC did pull back, and that one did look good, but I think it's going to hit that bottom and try to bounce back up right there. GameStop, GME, that one pulled back a little bit too, but didn't look too bad. And Chewy was up, and I'm telling you, Chewy looks like it wants to get crazy. I don't know what he has going on. You said that, whatchamacallit, sold Roaring Kitty. Chewy looks the best out of all of them, I think. So CHWI, I think, looks the best out of them, AMC and GameStop. Netflix was pulling back here. And oh wow, 837 went down $37. We were looking at it to come to that 860. This thing could really come down, Netflix. So we knew it was coming down a little bit. That was really coming down. AVGO, that one dipped down, and that one could still be pulling back pretty bad. Let me see what that did in the after hours. Yeah, AVGO could be pulling back pretty good. MU. Let's see. This one looks like it's going to be trying to get set back up to run again. So we'll have to keep an eye on MU. It looks like it might be trying to curl back up there. TSM, they do have earnings going on, and I have a feeling TSM might be trying to move here. It does look pretty good. Looks like it might want to roll off that MACD and get cruising. We'll look at it in the morning. SMCI. That one looks like it's trying to get curled back up and try to move. It's just sitting there, and I think tomorrow we'll be able to tell exactly what it wants to do on SMCI. And good old AMD did take that nice dip, and I think that one came down to that line right there, to your MACD line, and should try to get curled back off. It went right under the support line right there, and like I said, almost to the bottom. I think that is going to be a bottom. I don't know if it's going to bounce real hard, but it is going to get set back up there, AMD, so we'll watch for that bottom, and maybe it was at 114 area. It's at 115 area right now, so that's AMD. And QCOM, that one pulled back as well. And this one is setting up though, so we'll keep an eye on that. And Intel, that one was set up real good and just took a nice pull back. So that one should have gotten popping, and it didn't want to there on Friday, so it did pull back. The score is 20-17 in the fourth quarter. Washington's up. over Tampa Bay. And that's PayPal, PYPL. That one pulled back. That thing was set up really nice, and that took a big dip. So we have some really nice dips down here, and we're going to just watch and see how far they want to pull back, to be honest. Snow looked like it was trying to set back up. We're going to have to make sure it definitely wants to curl back up there. So we'll look at it tomorrow, and maybe Snow might be a runner. We'll look at it tomorrow. I feel like Dell wants to get set back up, but it was pulling back, and it's going to have to hit this support line at the 113, and we'll see. And that's DELL and PLTR. This one did pull back a little bit, but like I said, it stuck itself right on that 50 at that $67 area, and you have to be careful with that bad boy. And Sophie as well. That one actually pulled back under the hard support line, but you never know what that thing could do anything. Sophie, SOFI. And let's look at Mara and Riot. They were down a little bit, but they look like they're hitting them support lines. Riot looks good. I'm telling you, Riot looks better than Mara at the moment. And MSTR, good old MicroStrategy, was sitting there. And I have a feeling this is going to try to get set up probably this week. So we'll look and see what MicroStrategy. I think he's announces a buy or how much they've bought or something tomorrow or something. I forget what the hell he's saying. Or they're buying more. I don't know what they're doing. But I would keep an eye on it because it is getting set up here. MicroStrategy. Not sure if it's going to be popping tomorrow, but we will be watching it. And CLSK, that clean spark down here at the support line, curled through, getting ready to get set up. Good old Coinbase, COIN. That one looks like it was trying to get set up. Could be bottomed out there to try to get set up. We'll see if it wants to pull back anymore. We looked at DJT, was setting up looking good. And Fun, we knew was going to get fun. This thing's getting ready to curl back up. MTN, that one was great. I'm telling you, this mountain one, keep an eye on that because that one probably looks the best so far. MTN, we knew it was looking good. It pulled back. That bottom was probably 173. It's at 182, and it's going to make that big old curl up there, MTN, that Val Resort. So we'll look at it tomorrow and see exactly what it wants to do there. And how about McDonald's? This thing was pulling back big time, and let it go down. And we'll look at it. Maybe we'll catch a bounce on them. Don't care about McDonald's too much, but if it's a good opportunity, we'll take it. Boeing, this thing's just basing out right there, and I think that'll just make a base and then get set back up. SPCE, good old space right here. This one pulled back. It was trying to set up, and it curled through. We'll have to take a look at it. It was looking much better before. We looked at Rivian already. Disney, this one is pulling back. That one was trying to set up, and that took a nice pull back with everything else. And Oxy, this one was actually up a little bit, and I think that's going to go up some more. And ExxonMobil, that did pull back. That might hit that bottom again down here at 105 area. It's at 106. ExxonMobil did pull back, and Nike looks really good. We were talking about it, and especially down here at these prices. I think Nike might be a good one to look into real soon. And that low is probably in the 71. Remember in the summertime, we like Nike, and that thing bounced up real nice for us. So I think Nike is getting set up right here as well. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on that one. And like I said, that MTN and Chewy looks good there. And DXYZ, let's see what it's doing here. That's down. It's setting up, but you might get a good price on that one. And let's look at IBM because that was looking good. It pulled back, and we'll see if it has to get set if it has to pull back some more. Maybe it comes down to that 207. It's at 219. IBM, let me see. Yeah, it could. I'll look at that tomorrow as well. Let me see. NEO, let's see what that one's doing real quick. NIO, that's that car one, that China car auto manufacturer. That's pulling back and crossing through, going down. And looks like that one could be pulling back at the moment. So sorry, Jennifer Lee. That one looks like it might be pulling back. A lot of big pullbacks, I'll tell you that right now. It is crazy. And so yeah, there's a lot of big pullbacks there. Let me look at stock twits, tell you what's going on there real quick. And then oh, the game's 2020. They just tied it up. So fourth quarter, 4 minutes left. I'll tell you what's going on with stock twits, and you guys can check out the rest of the game. And I'll look at that. Now I'm going to listen to Elon's fire thing because that's probably interesting what he had to say about that. But let's just see. BABA, what's that doing? I can never even say the name of this company. I don't even know what the heck it's called. I don't even know. It's like Alibaba. I don't even know what it's called. Anyway, it's like the China Amazon is all I know it is, and it's coming down to that bottom, and it's probably one to keep an eye on here because it is way down here at $80. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. It was up in the in October. It was at 117. And let's see. Yeah, it looks like it could be setting back up. We'll have to keep an eye on BABA. And let's see a couple of them. BIDU, isn't that a no, that's not what I thought it was. That's a China internet company, internet and content company. And yeah, this one's hitting that bottom too, BIDU. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Boyle's up, Cold's down, Spy's down, JPM's down, JP Morgan, that was setting up, like I said, and that pulled back there. ACHR, that's a Archer Aviation, that's pulled back way down. ALT, that Altimmune, that's pulled back way down. So, I mean, so many of them pulled way back there. It's crazy. I must say, it is wild that there's that many of them looking that bad, but there certainly is. So I have a feeling that that SPY could be down a little bit more tomorrow. And like I said, that bottom's going to be that 570 area, I think. So we're going to be looking for it, and we'll keep an eye and see what happens in the morning. You know we'll be on at pre-market at 7 a.m. to go through everything. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for hanging out, Laptop Travel. Thanks for your list, and Asian Joe Lee, and MS, and John Wong, Jay Kraz, Louis Rodriguez, RD, Jennifer Lee, Elena, Tommy, Nefstradamus, Bon Pruchan, Sherry, Sinai, CZA, how are you? Brandon TD, Treyman, Bruce W, Tesserine, Sean, Clayton, Tomo, and Alicia, and everybody else that was tuned in. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Let me know what you guys want to look at in the morning. And like I said, you know we'll be on. We'll be checking things out, seeing how the market's going to be running. And if it pulls back, it pulls back. It's just more better opportunities at lower prices to see them run up. You know, in another week when Trump takes office, these things are going to be booming real soon after that. So if they're pulling back to hit their lows so that they can run up. So we'll watch for the best opportunities. We went through the list. The Mag 7. I don't even know if there is a best one on the Mag 7. There was one. Meta. Meta is probably the best one right there. Trying to curl up, I would have to assume. So if I had to guess, and I don't even know if it's the best, great, but Meta probably looks the best for the Mag 7. And again, GRNQ, COEP, CNSP, look for them bad boys, and GNS, they were looking good. Laptop Travel had a few, AXDX, Hook, IDR, and Ship, all looking good. There was a bunch of other ones. I'll post a picture of the list right there. So there you go, everybody. I'll catch you guys at 7 a.m. Thanks again for tuning in. And you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good night, everybody.